Good damn afternoon, Americans. Jericho Green here with you once again. Please continue to get your green gear. Hit the link in the description box. And of course, again, made all nice and tidy and consolidated in one little link tree link. Click that, take you wherever you need to go. So last night was Biden's 99th day in office, and he addressed addressed Congress. Talked about, some of the things he's done, the COVID and all that shit, and all the trillions of dollars that they've pushed through. And I didn't watch the whole thing. It was over an hour. There was no way in the world I could sit there and watch that full talk for an hour. One thing is funny though at the end. So the whole speech, he's talking, people are clapping. I saw somewhere it said there were 200 people in there. Normally there's like 1,600 or something. So a couple hundred people in there. He has two behind him, Kamala, the Ugandan nightmare. And I'm sorry, I can't remember who said it, but somebody in the comment section called her Guatemala Kamala. Because yesterday I was talking in the video how she's doing Zoom calls with fucking Guatemalan community organizers. So Guatemala Kamala. That's so funny. Anyway, so he has that cackling full, and then David Lopan, that liver spotted demon behind his left shoulder. I'm sure he was very scared having those two sitting behind him. But he's talking without his mask. There's people in the audience, they have masks on too, but they're clapping and everything. And so when he's done, and I'm sure all these people in there have been vaccinated twice, all that shit, been tested, everything, all the precautions taken, because of course this is the leader of the free world in the room. And when he's done, he puts his mask on. And then he shakes elbows. Man, look, don't even touch each other. Don't even do nothing. What do you look like shaking elbows? So he shakes elbows with Pelosi, and then moves over to Kamala, and then she touches his hand. So what's the point of not shaking hands? Why'd you shake elbows with that liver-spotted demon, that gargoyle that sits atop skyscrapers until nightfall, but then you go over and touch hands with Kamala Harris? Man, when you see shit like that, it just lets you know that this shit ain't for real. This shit ain't serious. They're not taking it serious. It's not the pandemic that they're telling us it is, because you've been vaccinated twice and you have a mask on, but you're still shaking elbows with that fool, but then you turn immediately and touch hands with the other fool. I don't get it. Whatever. So in a nutshell, in a crazy ass nutshell, in a nutty nutshell, here's what his speech was. America is racist. The number one threat is white people. We can spend our way out of this. The government will take care of you. And everybody who's mid to low on the color chart, don't you worry. The government has your back. He told the transgender people, he said, all the transgender people watching, especially the young ones, your president has your back. He's going to take care of you. You microscopic portion of the population, he's going to take care of you. Not parents with kids in school wearing masks and bullshit, part of the week still online staring at a screen. People who lost their jobs because we were forced to shut down the economy under bullshit pretenses. Not you guys, but this teeny tiny portion of the population with the loudest bullhorn. Whatever. So he says, we have to believe and act on what all of the intelligence agencies are telling us. He said all of them. They're telling us that white supremacy is the number one terrorist threat in America. Number one. All the intelligence agencies, FBI, CIA, NSA, all of them, U.S. Marshals, everybody. White supremacy, number one. Really. So from that, he goes right into saying, oh, and I thank, Congress, whatever, the Senate, who passed the COVID-19 Hate Crimes Act. That is to better protect Asian Americans and Pacific Islanders from this surge in hate crimes we've seen over the past year. I've told you, I've gotten into some of the numbers in the biggest cities with the largest Asian populations. New York City has the highest number of Chinese people outside of China. LA, New York. One of them, the Asian American attacks, hate crimes, went from 7 to 28. And the other one was like 6 to 19. That's the swell they're talking about. And of course, nobody should be messed with or persecuted or held back from something because of their race. So they're against hate crimes against Asians, but then they're not letting Asians get into prestigious schools because there's too many. I don't know. You tell me. And what's funny is, and I've heard this more than once, it's to protect Asians and Pacific Islanders. I don't know where you guys live, but I've grown up around Pacific Islanders my whole life. Ain't nobody fucking with Pacific Islanders. Most of them are born 6 foot 250. Are you kidding me? We would go out to the club, see a group of Tongans or Samoans and be like, who's gonna stop them if they start getting rowdy? Even some of the women are huge. Who's pushing down an old Tongan man? Who's busting an old Samoan woman upside the head? I'll tell you, nobody. Nobody. I used to work with this dude named Ben. He was a Samoan dude. He was 6'5", 250, and he said, brother, I'm the smallest out of my siblings. He was the smallest. Now, of course, not all in every. Shout out to my man Lopetti, one of the greatest people I've ever worked with. This man is built like a tank. He used to play rugby back in New Zealand. Okay, ain't nobody lumping these people upside the head. Ain't nobody playing the knockout game with no Pacific Islanders. But they had to lump you in because you're mid to low on the color chart. Hate crime, that's bullshit. Crime. You commit a crime, this is how much time you got to do. Next. And that's further separation. That creates more animosity. You're saying a crime against them is worth more than a crime against the other person, simply because they're a different color. There's a Bruce Lee movie called, it's known by 2 different titles, but the way I grew up, it's called The Chinese Connection. That's the one I always watch, Chinese Connection. That's the one that takes place during the Japanese occupation of China. And Bruce Lee wants to go to this park, but there's a sign outside that says, no Chinese or dogs allowed. And there's an Indian dude there in a turban, with the curly mustache and the beard. And then some Japanese lady walks in with a dog, and Bruce Lee says, hey, what about that? And then the Indian dude looks at him and says, I'm sorry, you're the wrong color. So if you're the wrong color, then it doesn't matter. If somebody's the right color and you mess with them, you're going to get more time for that. That's not right. And then he's talking about the Violence Against Women Act. Who is for violence against women? Who is supporting violence against women? Stop. Nobody. There are some psychopaths in our society who agree with that. For the overwhelming majority of us, nobody supports that bullshit. Get out of here with that. And we've got to close the boyfriend loophole. If you're an abuser, you can't get a gun. So that's the only way abusive boyfriends act out whatever sick shit is going on in their head toward their ex. If I could just get my hands on a gun, I'm going to kill this woman. No other way. Not going to stab her, not going to beat her, not going to run her over with my car or whatever else you can think of. It's only a gun. So we can just get control over these people not getting guns. It starts there and it ends with us. America's racist. If you're white, you're not right. The government will take care of everything. Come here. There you go. Huh? A little stimulus check. Ooh, I'll cover your rent. Yeah. You don't want to pay for junior college? Don't worry about it. Drink up more. Drink more. Oh, got a little bit. There you go. Yeah, I'll take care of that. Oh, pre-K free? Yeah, we got you. That's what they want. Cradle to the grave. And one of the other popular themes. Why is this a fool? Why does Biden's pervertus look like this when he... Hey, jobs, 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 jobs. He always looks like that, just like some scared, lost old man that you just want to grab his hand and help him back to the nursing home. He just looks sad and senile. Our grandpa in chief. But that's what he was saying. Jobs, jobs, jobs. We're going to have them build 500,000 charging stations along our highways as far as the eye can see. Shovel-ready jobs. How come those blades on the wind turbines can't be built in Pennsylvania instead of Beijing? Careful, Joe. You don't want to talk ill of your puppet masters. Watch it. So all this the Green New Deal shit, that's going to bring all these jobs to America. The turbines, we're going to build the blades, we're going to build charging stations. Green, green, green. How much is that going to cost? And look at who's supporting him. You have Bernie Sanders' old ass up there clapping his liver-spotted hands off. That's all you need to know. Bernie Sanders, look at Venezuela. I know they sound the same, same age. Oh no, wait a minute. I remember my Bernie Sanders impression. Hold on. Look at Venezuela. Venezuela is a beacon for socialism. Look at Sweden. Look at all these socialist countries. Oh, side note, since you want to talk about gun violence, these Nordic countries that you keep telling us to model ourselves after, they're top 10 for mass shootings. I know America isn't. I know that's what they tell you. But these Nordic countries, that's where you have the most mass shootings. But we're supposed to model ourselves after them. Got it. So just look at who's supporting it. I saw an interview with Gayle and Nancy Pelosi this morning. Nancy Pelosi was beside herself with happiness over his speech. That's all you need to know. Look at who's supporting this shit. He said we're going to have millions of jobs retrofitting buildings and building new green homes. I halfway expected him to have some kind of model that was set up on this rotating table. And look at this, when the boys come back from war, you can move into one of these brand new neighborhoods, powered by the sun. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? We're not going green, fool. And these turbine blades you want to build, what are they made of? What's one of the ingredients in the plastics used to make them? Who's hauling these giant blades? These blades got to be 50 damn feet long. How do you transport? Once you make these blades in Pennsylvania, like you say, how do you get them where they need to go? If they're made in Pennsylvania, we got those big ass turbines down here, South County, Central California, down 101. How is that turbine blade going to get from Pennsylvania to Chular, California? Probably on a truck. What does that truck run off of? Potato skins and dreams? No, it runs off of fuel. The evil fossil fuel. You're going to strap it to like 10 Priuses and drive it down here? I don't think so. How do you make the batteries in the Priuses? Do you see how crazy this shit is? But in a nutshell, in a crazy ass, senile nutshell, America's racist against everybody. If you're white, you're inherently racist and evil. Oh, one more thing. So he said the COVID-19 Hate Crimes Act, because white supremacy is the number one terrorist threat. If that's the case, if you go from white supremacy is the number one terrorist threat to the COVID-19 Hate Crimes Act, then how do you not mention that 85% of the assailants in these attacks on Asian Americans are black? If that's the case, then why are you telling me about some white supremacists? Because they seem to be failing in the anti-Asian hate department. 85% is black, so that means 15% left over. So you're concentrating on 15%, ignoring the 85%. Am I getting that right? Does that make any sense? 85% of the assailants are black, but you're telling me all intelligence agencies are saying it's white supremacy. Somebody's lying or somebody's stupid. Or even worse and even more dangerous, they think we're stupid. There he is, Grandpa in Chief, ruler of the free world. Getting less and less free every day. People, I'm telling you, a room full of Hollywood writers at gunpoint couldn't write this shit. So let me get in here so I can make sure I put 2 decent humans out in the world and go hang out with my beautiful wife and kids. But you know how it goes. I try to be done with the left, but they just won't let me. Please subscribe, hit that notification bell, because every time it rings, a piece of shit lefty cries. Get your Jericho Green notification tone, link in the description box. Utilize the PayPal link and the Teespring link to get your green gear. I am Jericho Green. Man, I'm out.